Sony knows 83 inches, 85 inches, 75 inches are way too big, and today we're going to talk about it. Smack a like on this video, subscribe for more content like this, and let's get right into it. New for 2023, Sony has a brand new screen shrinking feature. Now, Sony should know better than this by now, but I guess they weren't listening to all the people saying that 80 plus inches is just the way to go, and instead, they're echoing what I'm saying. Imagine that. Sony, who's all about director's intent, is telling you maybe sometimes it's uncomfortable to play at a big screen and that you should shrink it down.
Now for some gamers, that's a challenging screen size to play a game on. What if you could shrink the TV down to a normal monitor size, let's say 27 inches? Well, that's exactly what you can do.
Now, why would they do that? I think this is a question we all need to ask, because in the age of just give us $3,000, $4,000 for an 85-inch, you would think that they would want you to see, I don't know, maybe better processing. Is processing the answer? Well, no, not according to Sony's latest move. The latest move indicates that native resolution requires native screen sizes. And what this means in English is you can't take something like 480p or 1080p and blow it up to billboard sizes like 85 inches. It's not going to be comfortable. More importantly, this also states that it's just generally not a comfortable size to watch at all. When you talk about long-term gameplay or movie watching, that kind of stuff, yes, can be more immersive at first, but we start noticing things fall apart. I pointed out news broadcasts very specifically and older content because that's usually the first thing that falls apart almost immediately on these displays. Now, I'm not saying that if you own an 85-inch, 83-inch, 77-inch, 75-inch, you can't enjoy it. Of course you can. You enjoy what you like. But what we're talking about is the science, the display science. And that always tells us that, again, when you have something that only has a set number of pixels, you can't recreate more pixels. It's burnt. It's baked onto the image sensor. It will always look a certain way, right? And that's kind of the concept here, right? Sony basically is telling you, just shrink it down. And I think that is a beautiful concept because in doing so, they're making it smaller. But then isn't the answer a smaller display? I mean, call me crazy, but I think instead of spending thousands of dollars on an 85-inch where you probably have to shrink down anyway, why not just get the smaller size? There enters an uncomfortable conversation in today's society. Everybody's all about being eccentric and everybody wants to look rich. Our ideals of wealth are skewed. People think that if you have a fast car and money, that's the idea of wealth. We need to humble ourselves and get back to grassroots, really. You don't always need the biggest screen size. You don't always need to live extravagantly. What you need more than anything is to be practical with what you're using. If it works, then that's fantastic. But we want to get it to work where it works for everything, right? And I think that's the important part to note here. But that being said, I want to know what you think about this whole thing. Do you think it's dumb that Sony would tell you to shrink your TV down instead of giving you a smaller screen size? Or do you think it's a brilliant compromise that lets you use less than half the screen you paid for? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. The #1 brand in honesty. Till the next video, I'll see you guys later.